Nigga was expecting me to say some dumb shit.
Yo. What up, everybody? Welcome to the 1528 podcast. Four guys, four mics, four perspectives. We here doing this again. We got a really interesting, controversial topic tonight, but that's what we do. We talk about the controversial things, the hard things, the things that people run away from. We face it right up in a vulnerable way, and we hope y'all enjoy it. So before we do that, how y'all doing?
Yeah, the vulnerable part to have people bait it back in and be on our side. We're being vulnerable.
We're being vulnerable. You have to respect it.
Be nice. Because we're not about to be.
Validate us. Validate our vulnerability.
That's it. What's up, y'all?
What up?
It's Aries season.
What's the deal? What's up? Spring is here. We sprung forward.
Legally now.
Spring forward. I've
People
been
got-
ever since we did. Fuck that
I
shit.
love it, man.
UNC? Never mind.
I need more daylight. I'll
Nah,
take
he
it.
don't sleep much
No,
now.
I love the results of it, but
California
I
talking
still
about
need
getting
that
rid
damn
of it.
hour back.
California talking about getting rid of it. It's like this yearly disruption.
They're trying to do it everywhere.
Yeah, a few people.
It's a national thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well,
It
the
already
article
passed Senate.
just said
Passed the
California.
Senate. They got to pass the House of Reps.
I don't know what if I
But
look. What's gonna
little
be
known
like.
fact, it happened in the 70s. They actually got rid of it for 2 years, and people hated that shit and asked to bring it back. So we'll see what the fuck
We'll see
this
what
happens.
happens. Yeah.
Well, you know, everything is brand new now. The best ever, the greatest ever, the first time ever, the only ever. Like
The best
they realize
third
how
try
bad it
at this
was.
shit.
we've been here before. We've been here.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
How was y'all
here's one place that we've kind of been before, and we finna kind of go there again.
You finna go into the topic? Not yet, man.
Why not?
We was just gonna roll out into
Okay,
this shit. You know what I'm saying?
keep talking, then,
Yeah.
JT.
BJ was about to say something.
Oh,
No, I just said how y'all weekend was.
Let BJ talk, y'all.
Oh yeah, we do gotta let BJ talk.
Mm.
The weekend was cool.
Fuck that nigga.
I went to. It started off with the culture tour with Jodeci and Charlie Wilson and New Edition. It was
Oh, you
dope.
went to that?
I went to that. It was dope.
Oh, they were up there because I saw some people in LA had just went to it.
Oh yeah, they
So I guess-
touring. They everywhere.
Okay.
They're gonna be in Miami in April. They're gonna be in Louisville for Derby. Charlie Wilson and New Edition.
I heard it's rumored Janet's gonna be there for Derby.
Oh, Janet. No, I'm sorry, Janet and New Edition. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Miss Jackson,
No.
if you nasty, Jay?
Miss Jackson, if you nasty,
Oh man.
in Derby City. Talk Derby to me.
Okay. I've never been to Derby. I might have to go.
You might have to be there.
I had a
Because
crazy
we-
weekend at work, man.
Janet's sexiness is not timeless. Janet's sexiness is not timeless. We got to catch that while it's still
You
popping.
ain't see JT tell you that's enough.
I seen him.
talk.
I know. I seen him. And that's why I'm gonna keep going too. That's why I got something else to talk about. And
Dirty
then,
ass bastard.
and then my foot was itching, and I just didn't know. Nah, but anyway,
Oh, this is weird. Hey, y'all see the microphone, the light from my mic?
I do
make
see.
It look like I got a spotlight on my shirt.
Yeah, I see that.
Mm-hmm.
What is
I
the
was gonna move it, but then it's gonna make a weird noise in the mic,
What's
so
the-
it's just stuck.
who is that?
What's on your shirt?
Well, no, it's just the light from the goddamn
I
mic.
know
What's
Dre.
on your shirt, Dre?
What's on your shirt, Dre?
It's
He's still-
he ignorant. So if y'all ears is blew out, it's BJ's fault. If y'all ears is blew out.
If y'all don't hear BJ on this fucking episode, that's why.
It's
It's
JT's
BJ's
fault.
fault.
It's BJ's fault.
Did
Let
you see
BJ
his
talk.
face?
He was talking. BJ
He
was
was.
talking. All right, man. All right, let's jump in this. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this topic, and I cannot wait to hear the follow up in the community group. And all the hate mail is going to come at the 1528 podcast at gmail.com that I'm not going to read, but JT now will, and they will let me know how horrible it was. So, are y'all ready? And Deucey in the back, but he can't hear us. He can just hear me, so I'm going to keep it PG. Y'all ready?
Yes.
All right, fellas. What are your thoughts on athletes being able to compete in sports as a gender other than what they were born as? And is it fair?
Fair to who?
Fair
Fair
to
to what?
Man.
What
to the
is
world.
fair?
What is fair? Let's look at this objectively.
Wait,
No,
can I
so-
ask a
so here's the
question?
deal.
Can I ask
Okay.
a question before we start? So I'm a little confused with the whole pronoun thing. I don't know how I should actually talk about these people on the show. So I just wanted to give y'all a trigger warning. If y'all don't like
Yeah,
people fucking up pronouns, this ain't the show for
this
you.
ain't it. This ain't it.
And to be honest,
There we
like
go.
we're not doing this like out of spite or you know what I'm saying, just being evil. It's people who honestly are completely educated on the subject,
Yeah,
and
for
that's where
sure.
we're coming from. So
For sure. And you
take that
can,
with a
and
grain of salt.
it's fine to say that everything ain't you. Like, you just don't take up every cause to understand everything about it. And that's,
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah.
So we're having a conversation
So we're having a
we are
conversation
where we are.
as we are where we are.
Mhm.
And if you have a conversation to add, go to Facebook and find us in our community group. And we
And
would love
also
to have
on
a
YouTube,
conversation with
please.
you. And definitely go on YouTube. All right. So how we feeling, fellas? Okay. So you have.
That's not going to make it to the show. It's not.
Wow.
It's not.
Such a hater. Because
No, because it's on a track that I don't use, like, and it's not happening.
Well, you're gonna use it now. No, so
Right.
so all right, you have men competing in women's sports as women, and vice versa. Is it fair? Is it fair that a man gets to jump in a ring and box a woman, MMA, fight a woman, get in a swimming pool and outswim if they can women? Is it cool that they get to play kickball with women and kick the ball all over the fence and nobody can go get it? No, it's fine. But anyway, for real, like, is it fair? Is it fair? What is it?
Absolutely not. It's not fair. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we even have to have this fucking conversation. I can.
Tell them how you really feel.
I'm on my way. Now, I will say this: I will respect anyone's decision to be who they want to be, but with that still comes some
The fact that he did not put a T on the end of that, he's not really respecting it. He's just respecting it. Go ahead.
respect. Yeah, yeah. But seriously,
I get it.
you can be who you want to be. You can identify who you want to identify with. I have friends that are trans, and I treat them the way they would like to be treated. But you can't. Biology. It's like not believing in science. Like the people who just want to say the Earth isn't getting hotter or COVID isn't real. It's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like it's science. Men scientifically or biologically are just stronger and faster than women. Most of them. Now, I mean, you got some dogs out there, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, especially when it comes to physical activities as
Shout
far as
out to
like
Katrina
boxing,
for breaking BJ's ankles in college.
you got me fucked all the way up.
Ah, Jim.
All right,
That's
so,
again Betty White getting taped up. Shout
got
out
me
to the
fucked
GOAT,
up.
Katrina.
I mean, but
Uh,
it's just not
Sensitive subject.
it's just not okay. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you take the swimmer that we all are kind of like going this off of. He wasn't shit in the men's division. You know what I'm saying? Like she actually sucked, right? And then all of a sudden you number one. Come on, man. That's not how life works. That's how everybody gets a trophy bullshit. In a sense, I don't like it.
To BJ's point, we're talking about the swimmer formerly known as William Thomas, who was ranked number 462 in the world, but then I'm gonna call it reclassified as Leah Thomas as a female, and she became,
See, here we go.
they became the number one ranked
Man.
women's swimmer.
See,
So 462 to 1.
yeah,
I wouldn't
that's a
say
big jump.
overnight, but you get it.
Yeah,
So that's what BJ's referencing.
yeah. So clearly they couldn't cut it as. And if you identify as a woman, like I said, I don't have a problem with that choice at all. Do you just be honest about it up front? But you're stronger, you're faster, you're bio, with biology, you are a man. I don't give a fuck what your heart tells you. You're a fucking man. So it's not right. And especially
Yeah,
when it comes to these high school sports too, because there are high schoolers that's doing it as well. That's these people aren't even fully developed, and they're able to get an advantage. It's just I don't know. I don't. It's just ridiculous.
if they're gonna allow it, they
So
should just allow steroids. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say I hate doing this, but I actually agree with BJ.
Oh,
agree
first
with
time
me
ever in 3 seasons. Oh my goodness.
tears. Real tears.
And the reason that I agree is because, to BJ's point, men and women are biologically different. That is why there's a
There's
division between men's sports and
sports
women's
and
sports
women's
in the
sports. Yep.
first place. If it
You
was an
know,
even playing field, we wouldn't have an NBA and a WNBA. We would just have the Basketball Association. Um, so to take a man's body and compete against women is not fair to the people that were born as women because they're biologically at a uh, lesser stage of, I won't call it evolution, but their bodies aren't the same. So since there is that division, it needs to remain that division. It needs to stay. If you were born a male and you have male DNA, you cannot compete in female sports because it is not fair to those other people. It's an uneven playing field. It's like akin to if fucking 50-year-old LeBron was playing in high school basketball, right? He would score all the points, he would win all the trophies. Nobody could compete with him because he has a different body type. He's more mature, he's more developed than the other people that he would be playing against. And it's really just not fair to the people that are in that normal um what do you call it? That were born with that versus the people that identify as that. To BJ's point, no problem if somebody's trans and they identify as something different than what they're born as, but you also then can't take that and use that to an
Your
unfair
advantage.
advantage in sports. Some people, and I won't say this William Thomas person did that, but it looks like he reclassified just to be a better swimmer, and that's super shitty. Like if you're leveraging the trans um, designation to win events, then you're a piece of shit. On top of not being fair.
it's a
Um,
slap in the face to women. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and like
Mhm.
this gets a little bit off topic, but I literally lived it this weekend. I went out this weekend, and it was a crazy long line in the women's restroom, and of course the men's restroom was just flowing. So I'm literally going down the stairs to the men's room, and I hear three women say, "Oh fuck this! That line is too long. I'm not waiting in there." You know what? I identify as a man right now. Let's go into this men's room. And they literally got in line behind me for the men's room. Like that is just the like utter most disrespectful way to go about it. But some people are doing the same thing with sports.
Yep.
I'm not good enough
No.
to actually be a top tier athlete in men's sports. Let me re-identify as a female and actually beat the shit out of these motherfuckers because I'm bigger and I'm stronger and I'm
I
faster than them.
I hope that's not the case, man. You willing to completely reassign yourself just so you can be good at a sport, man. That's a really big move. And so my response to it is I agree. I don't necessarily think it's fair. I too believe that you can, what I'm saying, um go with, whoever whatever you identify yourself as, be true, right? I totally get that part. Uh but my question now, well, before I go with something else, say you want to do the answer the question in general, like
I
the
do.
go ahead.
Like,
Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Wait, was JT even going to answer, or you
I
pretty
was,
much
but
let
I was about to
JT?
take it somewhere else because y'all have already said everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all already answered the question like as I would. So I wanted to go somewhere else, but
all
I'm gonna
right.
wait for said.
So I'll say this. I'll say this. I am a womanist, not a feminist. I'm a womanist. I believe that in equal pay, equal treatment. I believe in equality and equitability, and a lot of different things. And it bothers me. It bothers me that a man or a woman can essentially look at somebody of the opposite gender and say, I could do it like you or better than you. And then you get to join sports. I won't say that he was he at the time. At the time, it was a he.
Mm,
I won't say that he did it just because he wanted to be better in sports. But I think he should have been disqualified when he did make the switch, right? Some things just disqualify you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if you turn what 19 in high school, you can't play sports no more. It don't matter if you're in 12th grade still. You can't play sports after a certain age. You know, if
No,
if
that's not true.
what's the age? It is a cutoff. You can't be 24 playing college, high school ball.
But you can't be
I
in high
remember.
school at
I
24 either.
remember reading an
That's what I'm
article
saying.
about
That's what I'm saying. So you got to
I
get out of
remember
high
reading an
school at a certain
article
time.
about a 40-year-old football player.
What?
In high
No,
school?
I think it was college.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
That's unnecessary roughness.
Oh, they must have been trash anyway, so the season didn't matter when they forfeited it.
But
so,
also that
right.
school
So,
system, we need to reevaluate that shit. Like, but go
well, here's
ahead.
the thing. I just think some things just disqualify you off. You know, and it's like nobody can tell you you can't feel like, identify, be a woman. Well, you can't. Well, anyway, nobody can tell you what you can and can't be in this world,
Cancel.
right? However, right. However, I think certain things should not be afforded to you once you make certain decisions, right? If I make a decision, and I'm not equating the two or these things, but if I get in the car and decide to drink, well, guess what? I'm probably going. I run the risk of losing my license. I'm not gonna be able to drive no more, at least for a few years. You know what I'm saying? It just happens because I made a decision. If you feel like that you are the opposite gender, whichever way you want to go, you feel like you're the opposite gender. That's one of the things you have to understand. Yeah, it's not going to affect you socially as far as getting married, as far as like adopting and different family planning and stuff like that. It's not going to affect you legally. It's not going to affect you all these other ways, but you're not going to be able to participate in sports. And that's just one of the things you just won't be able to do. So,
So
because
now,
here's what I
yeah,
think. I mean, y'all think about the swimming thing. The swimming thing is pretty non-contact. But I think about the dude, well, the woman who
Trent.
MMA.
Oh,
She was
yeah,
beating a woman crazy. Like one of the last woman I think I saw, the woman was dope. She was beating everybody, and she split her whole head open and just it was bad. It was like
Right.
a woman
That's a
got beat up by a
felony.
man.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
felony.
and it's just when it gets down to that, and or maybe if you just limit it to like contact sports, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't do contact sports, something, but it just can't be the same rules because, and honestly, even though you want to identify as a woman, you're still a different kind of woman.
Mm.
yeah.
I mean, I guess like my question is like, what's next? Are people going to start
Damn.
saying I
All
want to
gender
compete in the
sports.
Special Olympics because
Careful.
What I fear
I
is
don't know
somebody
how to put
no.
it,
Careful.
What
but
I was about to say some
those
outlandish shit.
are
Don't
I
do
know I thought about it, but I was like, oop, can't say that.
Careful.
But like, the Special Olympics are set aside for people that are clinically diagnosed medically diagnosed a certain way. Are people going to just be able to be like, you know what? I got my ass kicked in the 4x1, but I could probably fuck some Special Olympic kids up. Let's actually switch over to that side. Like, is that next? Like,
Yeah.
like
We're,
well my
because you
biggest
have a
yeah
physical advantage over them, just like men have a physical advantage over women.
yeah
So it's super parallel to me when I look at it like
well
that.
I feel like for me it's even further than that. Like, can you identify as a child and start dating kids? You know, that's why we talk about this 40-year-old in high school. You know what I'm saying? I identify as a minor, so I'm a R. Kelly up in this mug. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh my god.
can you identify whatever you want to identify, and everybody got to go with it, or are you a protected class in any kind of way? Hey, why not? If I could be a man or a woman, why can't I be a child or an adult? I know it ain't cool, but
Nah,
that's my fear. You think your fear is that way? My fear is the other way. Like, I want my kids to be all right.
when I
what
feel
would you
like
guys?
identifying as, I feel like that's a way different conversation than being allowed to compete in
Play
sports.
sports. No.
So I have a question for you.
That's a
I
way
do want to
more
go back
layered,
though.
that's a
We
way
can.
more
We
layered conversation.
Well, you just said what you fear. You fear could you just be like whatever? I'm like, well, could you just be like whatever too? Well, I got you. Go ahead. We can keep pressing. Go ahead.
So
JT?
what if a man transition transition to a woman
Fuck your
and
question.
continue to play men's sports?
Okay, say that again.
That's a great
Like, what
If a
question.
if a
man
man
transition to a
transitioned to a
woman,
woman but continue to play men's sports?
I feel like they should only be allowed to play the sports that they were
classified at birth.
at birth. Yes.
But you would be cool with that, right?
Yeah.
I'm asking. Okay.
Yeah, because they have
Yeah.
male.
Like, yeah,
DNA.
and like, right. Like,
Interior.
I'm
not
just saying, like,
necessarily.
if somebody still has like the love for the game and love for the sports and stuff like that, I think they should still have to play with the first
I mean, heck,
gender.
females are playing football now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
playing
so
up. That's playing up. So that's just like,
Right. There's ninth
say
graders that play
somebody's
varsity.
say if somebody is 10 years old, they can play with the 14 and under, but a 14 can't play with a 10 and under. So not to say men are uh, let's be careful here. Not to say
Superior.
men are superior in any way, but if a woman plays a male sport, she's getting all the kudos in the world for
I'm
it,
sorry.
especially
I'm
if she's
sorry.
naked.
I'm not tiptoeing around that. No, no. So physically, men on average are superior to women.
Well, yeah, sure.
Physically, we're not
After
talking
a
about
certain
brain
age,
power. We're not
yeah.
talking about all
Oh,
capability and
I
potential and
was.
all that. I just meant physically. Physically, like let's be. Oh, he was Jay Dressed.
Now I believe the women are absolutely everything and can do everything much
No,
better than a man can. I
look.
feel like
No, but for real. But well, I say that on the premise that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
true,
we
true.
wouldn't be having this conversation. Nobody would have this conversation if we all thought that physically everybody was equal. The genders were equal, right? That's why this guy said, and I love this clip. I sent it to some of y'all, but I scared to send it to some other people because I was like, ugh. But he said it. He was like, if when they dig you up, when you die and they dig you up, they're gonna see him. They're gonna find a man because he's talking to a man. He's like, they're gonna find a man. They don't care what you believe, what you felt, what you was going through. It doesn't matter. Your DNA, all the way down to your bones, identifies you by your gender. So that's just what it is. He was like, you know, you're appropriating. You're appropriating womanhood, right? Like you don't know what it is to be a woman for real. You go by what you see and what you've heard. So
yeah,
essentially, what you're doing is like you're imitating women characteristics and saying that you feel like that you're them, but you really don't know what it feels like to be. He said the quintessential question to ask is, "What is a woman?"
yeah.
or "What is a girl?" You know,
Mhm.
And even
but
on that clip, they couldn't necessarily give you an answer. I would love for somebody in the comments or find us some way and actually tell us like what does it truly mean to be a woman
I know.
or okay.
If he wants to
This was the crowd participation part. But go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he
okay.
doesn't want you to
Oh,
take over.
okay. Because I got a real simple answer for it. But all right. So,
No,
so
go for it. No, no, say it.
oh, I can. Cool. It is an adult female human.
That's a woman.
That's a
That's
woman.
female.
So what is
That's
it?
female.
Isn't there? So there's an experience, or is there? You know. So my question is like for and I say if we have any hopefully we do and hopefully
Oh, I
you
just
continue to
mansplained,
be
didn't I? Did I just mansplain?
no, not quite because it's all men right here. So no, you're not mansplaining. So hopefully we have somebody that's a
He
part
knows
of
they
the
listening.
transgender community. Please,
Not
like,
anymore.
holler at us and tell us exactly, what I'm saying, the life that it is and how you got to to that point where you
So,
knew you want to make this transition. The reason why
yeah.
I asked this is because when I look at um transgendered individuals and a lot of them say like I felt like uh a woman trapped in this man's body or vice versa. I think to myself like what does that truly mean? Because you know what I'm saying, like did you just want to wear a dress or did you just want to, what I'm saying, wear makeup or something like that? Because that's to me, that's the only female experience that you can honestly go to. Because I don't think at this point, like you can give birth or you
Because you
can
don't feel
have
like
menstrual
having a baby,
cycles.
you don't
You
feel
know what
like
I'm
having a
saying?
period.
You
You
just
know
if you just
what
want
I'm
a
saying?
female experience by, what I'm saying, by doing the outside things, what I'm saying? Like to me, I get that part. And at that point, like just wear a dress. But you know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand how it is that you get to this point and then you say like I just you're gonna dominate when you switch over from men's sports into women's sports. Like it's just, for the most part, scientific fact. It I don't know. I'm at a loss of words for this because it's kind of crazy that you would even feel right to do that. Like you can tell she was weird on the podium and everybody else just wasn't feeling it. And not that you do it based off what society says or anything like that. But you know what I'm saying, it was weird. Go ahead, said
Well, she's also much bigger than everybody else. Um,
towering.
so I think the thing is, I want to get off this slippery slope right here real quick because I don't want to get it twisted and act like we are forging some type of attack against the trans community. Um,
Uh,
we're specifically talking about sports participation, and we're specifically talking about why we don't think that. Well, why I don't think they have different opinions, but why I don't think that it's fair for a man to be able to identify as a woman and then go compete against women in any sport, for that matter. For me, but it's particularly contact sports. So I want to back up off that slippery slope. If it seems as if we're launching an attack against anybody, because this is just a conversation we're gonna have, because I think it was kind of jacked up. When I saw the pictures, when I saw the whole argument on both sides of it, I was just like, this is crazy. Like,
yeah.
let's not do it.
Yeah, don't worry. JT has a disclaimer up right here so that they know we weren't attacking anybody.
Dre's gonna make it for me, and I'm gonna paste it right where he said it. So if you don't see it, he didn't make it.
That's a
See,
lie. I sent it over already. I actually typed it
already.
up during the
That's a
production.
lie.
Typed it up
That
during the
part right
production
there
call.
What a bunch of
is a
lies.
lie that he wasn't even on.
Okay,
Because
so
he
so when we get
He didn't
talking
even
about this,
show up.
right? When we get talking about this, because when we get talking about this, it's easy. It's easy to get into a lens where you're talking about, your thoughts and beliefs, and it's easy for people who are a part of this community to interpret your words in any kind of way, offensively, indifferently, or whatever. But how do y'all feel about like the reverse discrimination that happens when you have these type of conversations, right? Like when you're
oh
sitting here, like when you get in trouble for having your beliefs about something, to me, it seems like a lot of reverse discrimination. Like you can have your thoughts and your beliefs, and nobody can infringe upon those.
Mhm.
But I can't have thoughts and belief about you, and because they're infringed upon, right?
Like my thoughts have to be aligned with yours. If
Has to
they're
be.
not, then I'm doing something
Then I'm in,
wrong
or I'm
or
in trouble.
I'm in
I can
trouble.
get
Yeah.
canceled, fired, lost away. And so to me, that's like the reverse discrimination of this whole thing that makes it hard. Dave Chappelle did a great job of depicting that. Um,
so I I like to tread lightly whenever reverse discriminations try to be used as a reason for someone's thoughts, right?
mhm.
Because as black men, we can sit here and know, or like if a white person says spew some racist shit, right? Yes, it's wrong, but it's what they believe. And it's just because other people don't believe it or may assume or think it's wrong as well, that's the first thing they try to say is it's reverse discrimination. You know what I'm saying? So,
Who is breathing like that?
fucking
JT,
JT ass
JT
man,
Oh my
breathing
breathing.
ass
god!
nigga, man. He
He
be
gonna
trying to
have to
talk
edit
about me.
all. He gonna have to edit his whole track because he been blowing out that big ass nose the whole
Who?
show. You.
I was
You
like, who is breathing like
Oh yeah, no,
that?
I isolated it. It was JT like 3 minutes into the show. He just kept going.
Oh.
I wasn't gonna say
I'm
nothing because he
sorry.
get to edit this year. So
I'm sorry. Okay.
he always does that. He get mad at me
no,
because
it ain't
I
never been this
sniff
Cause,
every
bad.
once.
cause,
I
Go ahead, Big
sniff
what?
Jack.
every
'Cause
once in a while.
I want to go off what you're saying. Go ahead.
But yeah, what was I saying? I think reverse
Damn.
discrimination can sometimes be a cop out in a sense. Like we have to be. I feel like we have to be, or try to be sensitive and look at all perspectives of a thing. Now, do I stand on what I stand on and believe trans men or trans women shouldn't be able to compete with women born as women? Absolutely, I believe that. Like I said, I don't have a problem with your decision. You just shouldn't be able to do that. But just because we don't understand it or agree with it doesn't mean we shouldn't be uh, empathetic for people, I guess, and try to understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with reverse discrimination, though.
Well,
You can be
how
you can be empathetic and still. So here's a perfect example right here. You can, as an actor or actress, you can have in your contract that you won't show certain body parts in sex
hmm
scenes. You'll do sex scenes, but I'm not being fully nude. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You can have that, and that's absolutely fine. But you can't have. I'm not going to kiss this trans woman because I'm a straight male. I don't want to.
right,
You can't put that. Maybe you can, but we know of somebody who got killed off for
hmm
show, right?
right.
That's what I mean by reverse. discrimination.
Okay, gotcha.
Like I can't believe what I believe because it's going to offend you and what you believe in your protected class.
Or you're not pushing. I'm not about to push your agenda with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right. That's what I mean by the reverse discrimination. Like,
right. Gotcha.
yeah. So you got to subscribe to that meme. What y'all got, JT and Dre? JC still breathing on mic.
I- that's fine. Um, so
That's his way of
I
saying I'm
try
not
to
gonna stop.
I try to be, I guess, a little bit more understanding about some of this stuff because
You going to Hollywood? You have to.
that too, but
You want
more so,
making it your first movie boycotted.
right, all the time. But no, here's the thing. I don't. Damn, all y'all little joking and got me thrown off. Beep. Crap, what else gonna say?
You
Damn,
were
I
starting
forgot
with
now.
some sexist, racist comment.
Nah, I wasn't gonna
Okay,
say
one, two, three, go.
that.
You say you try to be more understanding, is what you said.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. I try to be more understanding about when people, say that they now are something other than what they were technically born as. But my question was, that's what it was. I had a question. So, what are the statues or the limits or the framing that classify um a transgender person who can as used to be a man and now is a woman? Is it because I'm hearing a couple of things that it could have been estrogen or something like that, that there's certain levels that you can and can't have in order to be considered a man or woman? Because there's also a track star who is actually a woman but has too much testosterone, so they will not recognize her in certain ways and certain meets and stuff like that. So I don't know. Does anybody know
Man, that
what the
is a
levels are with the?
lawsuit because that's a diagnosis to have too much testosterone for
Yeah,
women.
so
And if you discriminate somebody for a medical reason, that's not even that's not a sexual or a identification thing. That's actually a biological like
Like you actually were born that way.
yeah, you actually born like you just produce too much.
yeah,
Yeah, but
but
you're still a
to
woman though.
to JT's point though, this is how states have gotten around banning transgender males from competing. They actually set stuff like testosterone limits. Some
That make yeah.
actual women get caught up in that, but all people that were born as men would get caught up in it. So they're basically collateral damage. The ones that actually are those borderline natural born women that
Have a
have too
mustache.
much testosterone. Yeah, but it's just been the way that they've enacted laws to stop transgender kids from participating in sports. Trash, trash.
He tried not to laugh. So.
That's it. We got to deal
Bitch,
with
I
it.
know somebody who like
Children.
This part I'm gonna leave in. This part I'm gonna leave in.
Why is- you just gonna reduce the whole thing to a mustache. Just reduce the whole thing. You can't run because you got a mustache.
It's trash. This is what you can actually hear if you're a Patreon subscriber.
oh
Bitch, you got
Oh
a
man.
shit.
mustache.
Oh man.
Y'all ain't shit,
Ma'am, you
man.
need to line that up, please.
Y'all ain't shit.
Can you shave in front of me? Y'all got me sweating.
Mm.
Oh shoot.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bruh. Yeah.
All girl basketball team. Hey, bro.
oh,
Sideburns and shit.
oh. Listen, man. I'm off the rails. I don't even know. Go ahead, JT.
I'm
I'm
gonna save
gone.
y'all's
I don't even
career
know what to do.
and take all that shit out.
Oh no,
Nah, leave that shit.
no, that was funny.
Leave
That
that
was
shit.
funny. Because he took it all the way down and just took it to like, you got a mustache.
Because of testosterone, man. Come on.
He showed
It's
up.
it's
He showed
science.
up. She showed up ready to race. She been practicing. She ready. They was like, look, you got the mustache. You
You are
got that mustache.
disqualified.
We
You're
ain't
disqualified.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Uh, uh,
He was trying so hard
oh,
not to
oh,
ruffle any feathers all episode, and boom,
Boom.
loose at the seams. Can't help himself. Can't fucking help himself.
That's so messed
Oh
up.
shit.
Just
Listen,
trash all
if you
around.
got a mustache, it's okay. We not.
Oh Jesus.
We were
Oh
doing good
shoot.
here, fellas.
Oh.
Oh,
JT, go
it's
ahead,
not
man. I
my
can't.
fault,
I'm off the
man.
rails. I'm off the rails.
So we're gonna
Oh.
switch it up a little bit here. We're gonna start talking about something completely different. It's a whole new show because that shit's not going on air.
Oh, oh man.
uh,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
This nigga's literally crying.
yes.
Bro, because you ain't getting drug tested. You ain't getting. They just look at you and say you got a mustache. It is over. It is over.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
All these little girls,
oh,
they got these
oh.
little, little shadows on their lip. They can't hear this now.
Hey man, leave that shit in there.
Listen, listen. Somebody like it. Somebody like it. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
fuck.
All right, man. We gotta go ahead and take a little break so I can get my life together and come back in and get the show back on the rails. I'm sorry. Please excuse me and BJ. It might happen again. It might not, but we'll be back in a minute. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. We want to remind you to go on our website and check out our Patreon levels. Pick one, support one, and we'd love to see you be a part of that and also enjoy the perks that come with the different levels. While you're on our website, stay on there as long as you can. We want to get some traction on there. So as long as you spend on there, the more traction we get on the website. So we want to see you guys showing up on there and checking out the website. If you are a small business or a big business and you're looking to sponsor and support and partner with us, we would love to hear from you. So please hit us up. Email us at the1528podcast at gmail.com or hit us up on IG. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to partner with you. And we'd love to shout you out on this show. So this next part of the show is about to get real exciting. So check in and we're about to roll.
So what we doing?
Thank you for joining us. That's another episode of the 1520 podcast. Before we wrap it up, let's get some final words here, fellas.
You're not hosting.
Nigga, I'm giving him what he needs to say.
Nigga, I know how to say that.
But I can use that since I've said it all the way through. Nigga,
You gonna cut out whatever he say anyway and replace it with yours.
Right. All right. We went off the rails for a minute. Let's try to bring it back and just leave the people with a good word that won't get us completely canceled. We may get canceled for the rest of season 3. We'll be back in season 4 though. So
talk about the other half. Nigga.
Y'all gonna forget y'all canceled us in 6 months, and we gonna be back. We gonna be back.
Because that's what cancel culture is now. It's just for a moment.
They're gonna forget. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
talk about my new single.
So what's some final words? What can we leave the people with? How can we blow up the community group? And what's some words of wisdom y'all got for some young aspiring women who are coming up in these sports, and you may just get obliterated one day because somebody may feel like you and want to play in your sport, or vice versa. You might be a dude that think that you're on top of the world, and a woman's gonna switch it up, and you gonna So what's up?
So I would like to say shout out to DG General Jamaican Ginger Beer. They're not sponsoring us, but I drink it because I like it. And shout out to ALD. If I say this right, hopefully they give us a clothing sponsorship. A Me Leon Dore.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully I said that
perfect,
right.
perfect.
I put the spotlight on y'all just so we get some endorsement
That's
clothes out
not
here.
what happened. That's not what happened.
But back to the final thoughts. Here's my thing: an unfair advantage is an unfair advantage, no matter how you cut it. And born as a male, you have a different body set than somebody born as a female. So that is an unfair advantage in sports that I don't think you should get. To my point, if somebody's special needs and they're competing in the Special Olympics and somebody's not special needs, but they want to win and they decide they want to play in the Special Olympics, that's also a similar unfair advantage. It shouldn't be allowed. So live your life, identify it as what you want to identify. Just understand some things just aren't fair to certain people. So you can't fucking get everything all the fucking time. That's where I'm at.
Nice. I would say I don't think anybody on this show, I can only speak for myself, have a problem with trans people or people who decide to identify as they identify as. But the common theme is fair, and that shit ain't right. When you are when it comes to sports. Now, and I even like the way Cedrice even classified it when he says contact sports, because if we can play chess all day, women are just as smart as men. We can play chess all day. We
Chess ain't
can
no sport.
wow.
Watch your words, son.
Wow.
Watch your words, son.
So there are certain things that it's an even playing field, but certain things aren't. And if you are someone with a little bit too much testosterone,
Petty ass.
shave your mustache.
This nigga just did that.
And he said your nut stash. Now your mustache.
Come on, man.
Jesus.
We're trying to go out right on this thing. Like, why you...
Man. Like,
But who just has clippers in their rooms like that, though?
yeah, that's crazy.
A nigga with a mustache.
That ain't trimmed it.
And for more information about, if y'all don't understand what BJ's talking about, please go to urbandictionary.com and look up the term cock sipper, and it'll actually give you some more context. Cock sipper, SIPPER.
I hate all my friends. I swear to God. This nigga's gonna be
So I'm gonna say this
some
as a
furniture
as a
moving.
former athlete, former athlete.
Yeah, you're old.
Okay, Al Bundy.
Former. No, Al Bundy can still do it if you get an opportunity. I'm
He did
former.
a couple
Right,
times at
not
homecoming.
Not me.
Yeah.
So, being an athlete, playing sports, the sports arena is all about JT backing up from the microphone and quit breathing in that mouth. But it's all about hard work, discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like pushing your physical limits, but doing so on an even playing field, like BJ just talked about. Hence, the banning of PEDs.
Mm.
If it was about, you know what I'm saying, like because we just talked about on one of our shows last season how Shakari Richardson, right, when she got disqualified for smoking weed, right? Because even though it's not a PED, you can't use drugs.
It was the rule.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a rule's a rule. So anything that may give you any kind of unfair advantage, they don't want in sports. And so you can't ignore a natural advantage if you're born as a man with everything that you were born with and you compete in women's sports. You can't undo that. It takes away the even playing field. If you do that, you might as well allow women to use PEDs and at least give them a chance to build extraordinary muscle and build extraordinary things because they compete against people with extraordinary abilities. So I don't think it's fair. I'm not going to whine about it because what's that going to do? But my stand on it is that it's not fair. You can do what you want to do in living color, but I think we should protect the integrity of sports because one thing we know for sure, as crazy as this world has gotten, and as crazy as this country, the turbulence that we've experienced over the last just 2 years. If we ain't got to go back further than 2 years, we can, but we've all been able to rally around sports. We've all been able to kind of be relieved from some of the tension around us watching sports, talking about sports, going to, whatever it may be, and then you got sports of running around with a toddler. Um, and I just think you got to protect that. I'm not interested in watching. Here's the thing: people are already. I am interested in watching women's sports. I don't want people to think I wasn't saying that. People are already less interested in watching women's sports already. So then to add this unfair advantage, it makes it less interesting to watch. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. So that's what I got.
Um.
Paxton.
So, I mean, to be honest, yeah, fair is fair. It's not necessarily fair to come into the game with a different set of inner body makings and then come and get first place because you happen to be the strongest out of the entire league of women
You took
because you
close
were
and
original.
balls seriously.
Well, I mean, had them, but I honestly feel like
This nigga said had him.
I, I don't know. It's crazy, man. Like I wouldn't even. I don't understand like how she could like be cool with how things turn out. But if you want to be number one, you want to be number
It just
one
seemed like
regardless.
some sucker shit. Like you sucked as a man, but I'm gonna be the best woman in the pool. Get the fuck out of here. It's just some sucker
Hey,
shit.
I guess I also to be honest, there probably needs to be more of a story to it. Like you probably need to know a little bit more about like, oh, they actually been trying to become a woman for the longest and shit like
And
that.
that's cool. That's why I
You
say
probably
I'm not
yeah.
saying I'm not gonna assert or assume even that he did this
she.
to be better in sports. Well, he was a him at the time. That he did this, he made this decision to do this to be better in sports to become a woman. I'm not gonna say that. All
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying
say
it.
is that whatever reason he made the decision to become a woman, that disqualifies him from women's sports. That
It
should
kind of,
disqualify
but
him
I'm
from
saying
women's
I'm only
sports.
saying that because there probably needs to be more to make it more palatable for people to understand and to kind of like not be all up in arms like
So it
most
doesn't
people
add an
are.
extra layer.
Yeah, that's all. Like humanize this shit. All we hearing is out of the blue. Like this transgender athlete is now number one after what less than 3 years. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
here's another part of it too. If it didn't matter, why do they have to be described as trans something? If woman is woman is woman is woman, then why do we have to identify somebody as a trans woman? Just be a woman.
Well,
Just you're a woman.
but that whole argument goes into why we have men versus women. Like, then you got to take those labels off. Like, that's a whole other
No, it
rabbit
don't.
hole.
No, it
It
doesn't.
it is.
Mm,
No. No, it doesn't. I'm saying like if we're gonna say that a man can identify as a woman and then become a woman, no questions. You better call her a woman, or you're gonna have a problem, right?
Mhm.
If you're gonna be on that, then why put trans in front of it? Why make that? Why make that distinction? If it's no different and everything's the same, it's not about attention. It's not about anything like
it's a
that.
great
It's
headline.
about
That's why. That's the only
well,
reason.
they didn't do it for headlines. They didn't do it for headlines. They didn't do it for unfair advantage. They didn't do it for different things. All I'm saying, I'm not coming at them. I'm coming at the way this thing is being presented to us. You're telling us everybody's equal, but you keep wanting to put these striations on it. That's what I'm saying.
I
I
don't really
mean,
know how we got here, but I don't say this often. But as said, if she can't smoke because of the weed, you can't run because of the penis.
can't swim because of the penis. Say it over.
No,
Say
I'm
it.
talking about Shikari.
I
I was
appreciate
just,
I get
the
that part.
sincerity.
I get to run
I was just
for
saying.
smoking.
No,
So he's saying
I was
she's
just making it
just like
about
she was
another.
disqualified. He should be disqualified. So,
I wasn't talking
she
about the
should.
swimmer. I was just talking about a random runner because Shikari runs.
But that doesn't really
If
make
we
sense.
disqualify, penis disqualifies you. Is what I'm saying. Is that better?
No, but wrap it up.
I'm glad you can't keep up.
All
No,
right.
you're gonna listen back on this, and it's totally not gonna
No,
make sense.
no,
No, or it just won't be in the show. How about that?
you won't be in the show. How about that?
He's
I
always
just
threatening
deleted
somebody.
your
He
track.
always-
Nigga, I got
I
new
just
power,
deleted
nigga.
your track, nigga. And I
got new
locked you
power,
out there.
nigga.
Listen,
like
I
that
locked
kid,
you out the
you
account,
got,
nigga.
You gotta take names. You take names when I leave the room, and everybody in trouble when the teacher come back because JT's in charge
Mm-hmm.
with check marks
Telling
by their names.
I'm telling all you
Right.
bitches.
Not telling.
All right, y'all. It's been real. It's been good. I love getting together and just chopping it up with y'all. Man, listen, if you listen to this and you got an opinion, you got a thought, it's not about arguing with you. We want to hear from you for real. Like I might not even respond because I ain't got time, but I may I may just jump in an argument with you just because you may want to argue and we can do it a little bit. But I want to hear from you. I want to know how you feel about this topic. We want to know how you feel about this topic. We want to know how you feel about our perspective on this topic. Now we're secure in who we are, so it's not going to really change our perspective. But we still love to hear about it and have dialogue with you about it. And we're all educated and intellectual beings, so we can have a good conversation about it if you like.
But also, like, if you got more education on the subject, please feel free to present that because what I'm saying, like, help educate your brothers if you feel like we're missing a point somewhere. At least present it so we can, at least read it. And if we choose not to accept it, that's another thing. But at least
But don't be
present more
acting like we
information.
stupid. Don't be in there talking about
Because that's
something
not the case either.
like we slow or something. Because it ain't like we
Some
can't
of y'all be
read
disrespectful.
and talk to people and
On
catch
this
up on
here
it. It's
blue.
just,
Because if you wrong, I'm gonna say you fucking wrong. But make sure y'all got y'all shit together if you're gonna come for us. So go to Urban Dictionary and look up cocksuppers before you even record this. COCK space SIPPER. Before you come for us, get educated on what the
This
topic.
Well, your friends are
motherfucker,
Thank
trash.
trash as fuck, man. This nigga gonna get beat up.
And I'm recording it for one fact. I'm not breaking it up.
I might wear
Hey,
that t-shirt
so
next episode.
it's been a 1528 conference. Dude, nah, see,
You
like,
come on this. You come on this shit with that shirt. Oh
man. All right, this has been a 1528 podcast, y'all. This is Cedric.
BJ.
AKA Sid.
It's Dre.
JT.
Breathing on heavy.